to get on down the road and move this train wreck. We're going to be talking up next year. Our first guest, we're going to be talking with Ryan Tobar. Ryan, he's an Iowa native making his pro MMA debut at Warriors Cage out there in Porterville, California. I believe those events are held at the Eagle Mountain Casino out there. But give me just a hot second, Dave. I got my dial pad up and the number's pounded in, and I'm going to hit the dial button, and we're going to get this phone ringing, and we're going to be talking with Mr. Ryan Tobar. Again, this interview is brought to you by Patino Diet. Check them out at patinodiet.com. Stop wasting time on fad diets, gang, and the calorie counting. Make the lifestyle change that works. PatinoDiet.com.
And it's your greatest thing. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
Hello?
Ryan, are you with me? Ryan, are you with me?
Yep, I'm here. How's it going, man?
Hey, sweet. Good deal. Well, Ryan, this is Big Perm with Uncensored MMA Online Radio. How the hell are you tonight, dude?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I just had a few cups of coffee, so I'm feeling alive right now.
Right. I'm working on
I'm drinking coffee too.
Dunkin' Donuts too. Well, listen, Ryan, before we get going on this, I wanted to bring in my co-host I got with me, Dave the Butcher Clifford. Dave, are you there, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be talking with you tonight, Ryan, and we look forward to finding out about you and letting all our fans and all our listeners find out about you so we can start following another fighter as part of the family of UMOR here, brother.
Thanks. It's an honor to be on here, and I look forward to it, too. I can't come fast enough. So.
Awesome. Well, listen, Ryan, let's just get it kicked off. I know you're making your pro debut here really soon at an organization called Warriors Cage. For me, that's something new. I've never heard of that promotion. Just tell us, who you're fighting, what the organization's about, what you know about them, and how you're feeling about it, man.
Well, to be honest, I'm not very familiar with the California MMA scene, as far as their organizations and all that. Like you said, I'm from Iowa, so I represent Midwest all the way, but California is great. The fighters are great, and the guy that I'm fighting, his name is Carlos. I believe his last name is Becerra or Becerra. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he's also making his pro debut, and it's at the Eagle Mountain Casino, Porterville. That's about all I know, So my job's just to show up and get my hand raised. So that's all I'm focusing on right now.
Well, Ryan, do you do your training in the Midwest as well then? And how did you get connected with these guys? Who's taking care of you managerially?
Well, I started out, yes, in Iowa. I trained with a small gym called the American Pit Fighters for quite a few years, and then I kind of traveled around and trained all over the place for a while. I was at the Hit Squad in St. Louis for a while. I lived and trained with Spencer the Kingfisher for a while, and then
cool.
I actually have family out here, and I just needed to get out of the Midwest for a while, and I came out here, and now California is my home. I've been training with Last Stand MMA here in Oakdale, California, and Professor Tom, he's my main trainer. He's some of my training partners. I'm sure you guys all know Michael McDonald. He just fought for the UFC 135-pound interim title in UFC in England.
Yes.
And yeah, man. So training is great. My training partners are awesome. So.
Well, Ryan, that's something that we run across a lot as we talk with fighters, and the evolution of the sport is the moving around, from camp to camp. You see that all the time now, and going from Iowa and then now training with those guys out there. That's how it works for the fighters and how you evolve. As far as your evolution, going from amateur and now taking your first pro fight, what do you feel is the biggest difference, from signing that, for an amateur fight and now signing for your first pro fight?
Really, I feel like the amateur fights, are all practice, part of the practicing, that it's just practice. This is going to be my first real fight, as far as I'm concerned. This is a big test, this is what I've waited for 6 years, and you know, it's a big step for me. But I you know, like you were talking about the evolution of MMA, you know, I'm one of the new generation guys. You know, I train with the new generation guys. I'm gonna be in. You know, I promise. You know, I'm gonna be in the UFC. I'm gonna be a household name. You know, alongside with the rest of my teammates. You know, we're here to. You know, we're here to stay, and you know, everybody's working hard, and you know, it's great. You know, like I said, it's as far as I'm concerned, it's like my first fight ever. So, you know, I'm ready for it, and I'm only more ready. I'm still about 6-7 weeks out. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. I work as a ring announcer on the weekends, of course, as at a lot of. I do pro-am shows here in the Midwest, mostly in Michigan, but I've been out, you know, Minnesota, Wisconsin areas, Illinois, and Iowa as well. One thing that I've been able to be a part of and just witness, even though all I'm doing is saying their name before they get in, I get to see a lot of people make pro debuts and to watch how their coaches handle things. And I could tell by you saying that addressing your coach properly as professor that you have that humility, and it's going to be cool to hear about this when we bring you back after your fight. But by new generation, I wanted to know if that means you're just mainly training everything, like there isn't a certain discipline or martial art that you may be better at one thing than the other, but does this mean you guys are in the new type of training where you're not training any one thing more than the other, you're just really just going at it and doing everything?
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. You know, training every day is something new, something fresh. Like I said, you know, a lot of these people who I train with have been training since they were little, you know, and that now, you know, like one of my teammates, Brad McDonald, Michael's younger brother, he went pro when he was 14. I believe he holds the record for the youngest pro fighter in MMA history, if I'm correct. But
wow.
You know, and yeah, and I think he's 19 now, and you know, like I said, you know, I'm training with some of the best fighters right now, and I feel good. We train everything. We train hard every day. You know, every day I leave the gym, I leave better than I was when I got there. You know, and I'm really enjoying my stay. And you know, this is home for me now. I'm not going to be jumping around from training to training like I was before. You know, I finally found my perfect fit for me, you could say.
Well, Ryan, you know, you coming from Iowa, you know, Iowa having a storied wrestling history, you know, there's kind of an argument between people whether wrestling is the better base or jiu-jitsu is a better base for MMA fighting.
Oh.
And, you know, with you coming out of with you coming out of Iowa, you know, do you come from the wrestling background, and, you know, what's your opinion on wrestling versus jiu-jitsu?
You know, I don't come from any background. I come from an MMA background, really.
Okay.
You know, when I started training, I started training everything. But yeah, you know, I've got to work with, you know, a lot of great wrestlers, and they were all from different places. Some of them were from Iowa. Some of them were from, you know, Kentucky, West Virginia. Some of them were, you know, I trained with a guy named Jordan Keckler here in California, and he's probably 20 pounds lighter than me, you know, and he's an amazing wrestler, and, you know, he has his way with me. He's really good. Like, he blows through everybody in the gym, you know what I mean? And you know, you'll get good wrestlers from everywhere. As far as wrestling being a better base than jiu-jitsu, you know, I'm not really sure about that, you know. I think you got to have it all,
I don't
you know,
think so.
especially. Yeah, you know, I just think you got to have it all. You got to know everything.
Yeah, I agree, and that's what's cool about this new generation now. You can actually have guys that have walked into a gym, and it wasn't a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu academy. It wasn't a bunch of guys getting together at a gym after wrestlers were done to, you know, use some time at the school to clean the mats. It wasn't a boxing gym. It wasn't a kickboxing gym. You guys are really doing MMA, and you're seeing a lot more of that now. I mean, there are real MMA gyms all over the country. And now I know that you had said that you had family in California, and that's kind of why you settled over there and why you picked that. And as I heard you talking about the states you came from, and we're severely behind here in the Midwest with fucking sanctioning and legislation and regulations and things. Did that influence your decision at all? I know that California's had an amateur and, of course, pro regulations in place for longer than almost anyone.
Yeah, honestly, it has nothing to do with that. I just, this is where, God wants me to be right now. And I actually didn't even have plans of, fighting when I came out here, to be honest, but, I kind of was going through some personal battles, and, things just happened, to where I got in contact with, Professor Tom, and we went from there. I've been training, with Last Stand for a while now, and I'm definitely hungry and motivated right now, and California is a great state for MMA. It's probably the king of MMA right now, so is out here, but it wasn't really anything else than God's grace. I'm here because of him. So.
Well, that's cool, man, and you were neat and you found it, and that's a great answer. That's why I asked, man. That's cool.
Yeah, no problem.
That was a great answer. I'm fucking blown away by that. I mean, pardon my language, it's uncensored, but I'm blown away by that answer, bro. Seriously, man, you are. That's cool. What a good dude. You're right about that. I believe you when you tell me that we're gonna hear your name a lot more, man, and continue to for some time to come. Because, man, I'll tell you what. On the real tip, I've interviewed a lot of people. UFC Hall of Famers, legends, and guys making pro debuts, amateur fighters, and the answer that you just gave is among the elite people that I've interviewed, and that's the way they approach things, man.
Well, thank you very much, and I don't mean to sound cocky at all when I say that. It's just I truly believe in the team that I'm under. Like I said, everybody around me is so good, and just the fact that I'm blessed with the skill to be able to compete with them in the gym just gives me all the more confidence and reassurance that I need. That this is the sport for me. This is my calling, and I truly believe that here within the next few years you'll be seeing me in the UFC.
Man.
So Ryan,
go ahead, Perm. Go ahead, Perm.
I was just going to say, to make sure that I got my info right, your next fight's on June 21st?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I had the date right. What that date is the date for the Warriors Cage Conflict. It's Friday, June 21st at 8 p.m., and I'm going to guess that's 8 p.m. Pacific time, I would guess.
Yeah.
Being they're in Cali, and again, that's going to be at the Eagle Mountain Casino. So, hey, Ryan, aside from the fight business, we've got a few minutes left with you here before we got to get going. What do you do to kill time when you're not fighting, man, when you're not training? What flips your switches and gets you going, man?
A little bit of everything. I'm out on the West Coast right now. There's everything to do. I can.
Hell yeah, man.
I can go to a beach. Yeah. I can go to a beach and surf, or I can go to the mountains, chill in the snow. I can. You got the best of everything out here, and most importantly, I'm just surrounded by good friends and good teammates and loving family. So everything right now in my life, it's going smoothly. I really honestly can't complain about anything. Everything's great. I don't know. I do everything that normal people do. A lot of times I spend my time in coffee shops and stuff like that. I like to be outdoors and stuff, but I don't know. I just, whatever the day brings, I'm ready.
Right on.
Well, that boxing bell that we just heard tells us we've got just about a minute or two left with you. And I'd like to ask a fun question before I turn it back over to Perm to let you shout out your sponsors and your teammates again for us. And that is, if there were tag team MMA open weight, who would you pick as a partner and who would you like to face?
Oh, boy. Who would I take as my partner? It's just it's a tag team again, 2-on-1 or 2-on-2?
2 on
So
2.
you pick your 2
open
opponents.
weight.
Pardon me, I didn't hear you.
You pick your partner, and then you pick the 2 guys you want to fight.
Oh, my partner's I'm gonna have to go with Dave McDonald. He's already my training partner, you know. So
all right.
I'm gonna take him because you know he may look you know like young and innocent, but you know when he steps in there he's a killer, you know. So I'm definitely gonna take Michael. But the 2 people I can fight, I don't know, George St. Pierre and somebody, I don't know.
We'll throw George.
Fedor.
We'll throw Jose Aldo in there too. What the hell? 2 champions.
Yeah, whoever. I'll let you guys pick the 2.
Fedor.
Right on.
I'll pick Fedor.
All right, Fedor and GSP it is.
There you go. That'd be a great one. We'll make
Upset
that happen
victory.
In the UMOR fantasy cage.
Yeah, but the cage needs to be surrounded by a moat.
There you go, man.
Have like alligators in there or something.
Lumberjack match.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ryan, before we go, man, I just want to give you these last few seconds to shout out thanks to any of your sponsors or anybody else that's helped you along the way, man.
Yeah, I wanted to thank Jesus, first of all, then my family, my friends, my teammates, Last Stand family. You know, there's a lot of people who thank my sponsors, Insanity Fightwear, Your Fight Team, Aaron Brown Supplements, Neutralite, and anyone who's listening right now. I told people I'd give them shout-outs for listening in, but there was too many people who flooded my page. So, but thank you to all you guys.
That's a good problem to have.
yeah, I know, right? And thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure.
Ours
man,
too.
you're quite welcome. You know.
All right, thank you. I'm sure I'll be talking to you guys again.
I hope so.
Man, well, you take care, and best of luck June 21st, man.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night, bud.
You too.
All righty, Dave. That was Mr. Ryan Tobar making his pro debut coming up June 21st out at the Eagle Mountain Casino for the Warriors Cage Conflict. He'll be, again, fighting June 21st out there at the Eagle Mountain Casino in Porterville, California. So, you know, check Ryan out. You can find him on Facebook. It's Ryan Tobar, Tobar. And you can also follow him on Twitter at Ryan Tobar MMA. Dave, you had mentioned, you know, in talking with him that, you know, his answer to one of your questions, you know, ranked up there with the elite and the answers that you would get from them and, you know, world champions that we've talked to. Ryan, I think, has got a very bright future ahead of him. And so long as he keeps his nose to the grindstone and trains hard, I think we'll see him in the UFC one day, as he mentioned.
Well, I agree, man. Like, I was just about to follow up with the same thing. I'm glad you did. And honestly, man, that, you know, and I don't know why I'm surprised anymore, because Chris Maltsburger has a great way of finding us outstanding athletes and individuals to interview every week here for PatinoDiet.com, IntimidationClothing.com, and Tri-County Cab. And